And I really want to talk about the way to stay connected with the town. So I did realize that there are 10 ways that we try to stay connected with the public. So we have our website, townofberlin.com, and we've been working really diligently to try and make that better and up to speed. We're still doing some work on it. It is going to be going through a redesign through the company that manages that, which is Civics Plus. And I'm hoping it's going to be much more user-friendly. They're going to be putting a simpler design and buttons and things that I think will make it easier to find what you're looking for. I will give you a hint. Right now, if you're looking for something on the website, the best thing is to go to the search bar at the homepage and type something in. And that is often the best way to find things. On our website, you can also subscribe to town news and announcements, and you can sign up through Code Red to get emergency and important notifications. And we put all of the reports that I do for every select board meeting up there. We also put the Powder House News up there as well. So as you can see, about half this list is connected to our website. So we're trying to broaden it out and do a few other things that may or may not be helpful for folks to stay in touch. One is Facebook. Another is watching the Select Board and Finance Committee meetings. And now there's a new option where you can watch on YouTube or you can participate through Zoom. You can also always do the old standard way of emailing, calling, or stopping by our offices. What I did was some screenshots of each of these to help you navigate to where you need to go in order to sign up for our different modes of communication. So the first is on our website, townofberlin.com. It'll bring you right to the home page, and it looks exactly like the photo that you have right here. And I've put an arrow up at the top. You'll see it says subscribe to news and alerts. And that there's a second arrow that will bring you to the Code Red page to sign up for alerts as well. So that's a really key place. And if you don't have a computer, you can go to the library. They are always willing to help there as well. We also have a Council on Aging director too. There's many different ways. I imagine here at 19 Carter, they would be willing to help as well. So anything that you need, you can also reach out to our office and we'd be happy to get you signed up for any of these things. So the goal is to try to make it a little simpler to navigate. But if there's something specific you're looking for and you're having trouble, please give us a call, email, let us know, and we're happy to help. When you click the town, subscribe to town news and alerts, this is what you're going to see. So there's a lot of boxes, and they actually go longer than this. I just took a snapshot. But under news and announcements, the one you mainly want to sign up for is town news and announcements. That will give you whatever we post on the homepage on the website directly to your email. So you don't have to go checking the website every 5 minutes. Oh, did they post something new? This will send it right to your email. There's also a number of other alerts that you can sign up for there if there are specific topics or departments that interest you. And then if you remember the other arrow that was on the website and you turn to the fourth page, that is the Code Red notifications. So Code Red has evolved in the types of notifications they can give. They can do emergency notifications and they can do important alert notifications. So an emergency notification comes through a different way, and we don't want folks to think that if we're telling you about a road closure that we're telling you there was some terrible, terrible thing happening in town, and So there are a couple different ways you can sign up for Code Red. You can click from the web page, and that's the link it brings you to listed here online. But I think clicking from the home page where you see the arrow right pointing to Code Red is the easiest way to go. You do have to create an account and sign up, and sometimes that throws folks off. So another way to do it is to call us, call our public safety administrator, and the number is located right there. It's 978-838-7355, and she will sign you up over the phone. So if you're having trouble with the form or you just don't want to deal with it, give us a call, we'll sign you up. Dating back to the previous town administrator, and since I started, I write a report for the select board every meeting that we have, with the exception of if it's a short one-off meeting for a topic, I may not. And, if I occasionally take a vacation, I may not do it that week. But you can find all of the town administrator reports going back several years on our website. And the way to navigate to that is you go to townofberlin.com/town-administrator. And you will see there's another arrow here on the left-hand side. There is a button that says Town Administrator Reports. And if you click on that button, it's going to bring you to, it looks a little funny because it's actually a Google Drive. So if you're not familiar with Google, it looks a little bit strange. But it says FY26 and it says previous years. So if you want to go way back and do a deep dive into things we did many moons ago, you are welcome to do that on this page. And at the bottom of the page, I gave you a little snippet of what the reports look like since I've been here. And you'll see that I date them, I send them to the select board, and that is what you're looking for. So you'll know you're in the right place if it looks like the picture on the bottom of the page. We have gone town-wide since about a year ago on the Powder House News. So it includes what it had when it was the COA senior newsletter, but it also now includes information from other town departments, boards and committees, volunteers. There's been some profiles of folks in town in it. And we are doing this every other month. And we stopped automatically mailing them to people because the post office was littered with copies. And the postmaster said to us, gee, why are you mailing all these and costing the town money? People aren't taking them, or they're getting them out of their mailboxes and they're throwing them in the garbage on the way out the door. So that's costing taxpayers money to send postage. I have no issue mailing it to folks who want to receive it. So we have put in a couple of the newsletters now, please contact us if you'd like to have it mailed to you. We're happy to do so at no charge and continue that. I have less than 25 people who have signed up, whereas before we were sending it to hundreds of people. So there is a savings there. But again, if you don't want to pick it up, we do put it in several locations in town. The library, we put it, I believe, here. We put it over in the lobby of the municipal offices. And I want to say we put some over at the general store, but okay. So we try to put it in prominent places where folks go. So you can grab one there. You can also see it online. You can also subscribe to getting it online. And here's the link up at the top of this page. It's townofberlin.com/subscribe. And that is going to bring you to the same page that I showed you before where you can select town newsletter. Or if you just don't want to deal with any of that, which I completely understand, you can email us or call us and we will sign you up. All we need is your name and address. Yes, this is the October-November issue. And it's a big one, as you can see, now that we've gone to bi-monthly. And I will put a plug for our volunteers. One of the reasons we had to go bi-monthly is we, just as staff, do not have the ability to do it with all of the other things that we have going on. If anyone is savvy with Canva, newsletters, and wants to help out, please contact our office. We'd love to have you. If you are interested in our official Facebook page, and we really only post official announcements there, it's not really a place where we would dialogue back and forth. It's literally just for notices from the town. But our Facebook handle name is Berlin Mass. So Berlin MASS. And I do have the link to it up here. You can see a snapshot of what it looks like. So, if you found us, you're at the right place. Has a picture of the parking lot, but also the front entrance to the building with our sign. And you can see down in the bottom right, we posted 22 hours ago about the flu vaccine clinic reminder. So that is a really good place to try to get information as well. Select board and finance committee meetings have really changed. So if you visit mytowngovernment.org, and this was what Paul was mentioning a minute ago, / our zip code 01503, it'll bring you to the meeting dates, times, and agendas for all meetings here in town. Typically, the select board meets every other Monday, but with holidays, sometimes that shifts a little bit. So you want to go to My Town Government and check the meeting dates and times. It'll also give you the agenda for the meeting there, so you can see if there's a topic you're interested in, or maybe you're not for that meeting, so you don't want to participate. You can also obviously attend our meetings in person. They're totally open to the public. 23 Linden Street, and we're up on the second floor in room 227, which is all the way down the hallway in the back on the right. We now have what they call a hybrid option. It's by Zoom. So there's always going to be a link in the agenda. If you want to get on by Zoom, you don't want to show up, you can sit at home in your PJs and with your pups, and you can ask us questions. So we're happy to have you guys online and ask questions as well. And then if you just want to watch anonymously, you don't want anyone to know you're there, we have an option for you too. You can watch, I sound like a car salesman, we have an option for you too. You can watch us on YouTube. And it is our Berlin Cable Access YouTube channel. The link is there. It's at Town of Berlin MA. And you can watch any of the any of the meetings that have been recorded. Brittany and her team do a wonderful job recording as many meetings as possible. So if you have an interest beyond Select Board and FinCom, you may very well find it there. I know Conservation Commission meetings are frequent and those are filmed. So that is really my spiel. South Street Bridge we received a $500,000 small bridge grant. And when we initially thought that we were going to replace the bridge, well, let me back up. So the bridge was unsafe, and the state said, if you want to apply for state money, you either shut down the bridge or you put some temporary panels over, which were very, very expensive. So the idea was we shut it down and we apply for the grant funding. We did not anticipate that it would take this long. The design was more cumbersome. We have a consulting firm, VHB, that's on board. That's a very reputable consulting firm doing the work. And when they finished the design, the project cost was almost $1.35 million. And so the $500,000 state grant is lovely, and it takes us part of the way, but it does not take us all of the way. So we had to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we're going to get the rest of the funds. So what we have done is we applied for something called a MassWorks grant, and we have applied for up to $1 million in funding to get us the rest of the way. Those announcements are expected any day now. So I have my fingers, toes, and everything you can crossed at this point that we can get that funding and we can move that forward. It really is the funding that's holding us back at this point. The design is done. The only thing we're waiting for, there were 2 comments that VHB was going back and forth with DOT on before we got the Chapter 85 approval. It's supposed to be coming any day now, and I'm on it. If we hear about funding and we still don't have a design, I'm going to reach out to our state legislators because it's been an inordinately long time for the design. Yeah, it is a complicated design, but still it shouldn't take this long. So we had a number of stakeholders meetings with businesses that were in the immediate area. We then went and did a public meeting before the select board. That was a little while back. Actually, we talked about it twice. The next step is to do a public meeting. Right now, we're just at conceptual plans. So it needed to be narrowed down a bit before it was ready to go forward and have public input. So it has been narrowed down to one design. That design will go for public input. There is at this time nothing literally set in stone. It's just we can't ask the engineers to prepare 3 designs because that would obviously cost us a lot of money. So they have said, I believe November, we don't have a date yet, but as soon as we do, we'll publicize and get that out. And I understand from, the way that the last select board meeting was, I'm still looking into, can we get the easements that we need to do it on the church side? It may not be able to be part of the grant given the timing, but that's not something the select board wanted me to give up looking at and trying to negotiate. We do have grant deadlines. Things do need to continue to move forward. So the select board did have to make a decision on one of the 3 concept plans to move forward, sorry. But that doesn't mean that those design plans can't be tweaked slightly. I think, there's a challenge there too in terms of some of the issues with easements, with telephone poles, and there is a higher cost to putting it there. I think that if we continue to pursue it with the church, hopefully we'll be able to make some headway there, because I don't see it at all as a bad thing to have sidewalks on both sides. We would just have to figure out if we can apply for the next round of funding to be able to do that. I thank you all for coming. I hope you gained something from it, information-wise. And as always, my door I try to keep open as often as I can. If not, I email, I call, I text if you really want my number. I'm really happy to be here, and I want to address your questions and concerns. And if you have ideas for things you'd like to see moving forward, you can send me an email, stop by, let me know, and we will work on the next time that I come around.